So, think of this channel as your GPS for the job search landscape. Whether you're charting a course for your first job, plotting a career change, or seeking new horizons in your professional journey. From resume revamps to interview strategies, networking know-how to personal branding power-ups, each video is a pit stop on your roadmap to success. So take a drive with me down the Career Parkway. Welcome to Roadmap for Job Searching, nation for navigating the twists and turns of the job market. My name is Karen Parker. If you have any questions regarding careers or job searching, leave them in the comments below, and while you're there, hit like and subscribe. It will help the channel out more than you know. If at any point you feel that you would like to have personal career coaching, visit me at www.careerparkway.com for a free initial consultation. Topic of the day: authenticity in interviewing. What's that, you may ask? It means being different. Now stay with me here. Picture this scenario. You've spent hours crafting the perfect resume. You've been rehearsing your interview questions, following all of the recommended formats so that you have them memorized. So now you're starting your interview and you're trying to be something that you're not. You feel the weight of expectation bearing you down. You feel the stress trying to remember all of the answers that you memorized. Sound familiar? I've done this. I don't even remember what job it was for, or the face of the person that was doing the interview. But I remember vividly having read through a couple of books and knowing what I would have to answer, and crafting my answer based on the recommendations and memorizing what I would say. Then the interviewer came to a particular question. And I'm like, I know this one. I'm going to nail this one. And I sat there and recited what I had memorized. He just looked at me, half blank face, and said, "That's a canned answer. How about you give me a real answer?" Cue the panic. There might have been some choking going on. And needless to say, it went downhill from there. Bad interview. So what does it look like if you did this interview with authenticity? You're going to start the interview feeling less stressed. You can now focus more on the interviewer. There is a famous quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, which is, "To be yourself in a world where everyone is trying to be like everyone else is your greatest achievement." And that's what I mean by being different. Now that hopefully you have the gist of it, we're going to go over how you would do an authentic interview, what the advantages are for doing an authentic interview, and then even some disadvantages. So how would you perform an authentic interview? You want to share personal traits and stories when you're answering your interview questions. You want to be honest about your skills, and you don't want to over-rehearse any responses. Am I saying don't prepare for the interview? No. You want to still read through the job description, look through the skills, think through the skills that they're asking for, and have examples of the skills in the back of your head. But when you talk about those skills and do the examples, just make it a little more personable. Let me share an example. There are several dreaded interview questions that everybody hates to answer because you're like, I do not know how to answer these. And that's actually why you go and read a lot of these books in the first place, to try to figure out how to answer these. Here's the question. What are your weaknesses? You can say, my weakness is that I guess if I leave work unfinished for the day and I don't have all the assigned tasks completed, and in a way that's an advantage, you will be able to ensure that I'm doing everything that I can to complete my work for the day, even if it means I have to work extra. Now let's try to answer this authentically. My greatest weakness is my handwriting. It's a mess. When I was in grade school, we used to have set times every afternoon where we had to do cursive writing for an hour. They kept insisting that this had to be done right-handed. I could not do it right-handed because I have brachial palsy. So they did their best to show me how to write right-handed with my left hand. Didn't work. My handwriting's a mess. I've had people even tell me I don't even hold my pen right, but it's, muscle memory how to hold that pen. So that's my greatest weakness. You see the difference between the two? They're both, one is actually not even a weakness, so you're not even really answering the question. but it's framed in a way where you are trying to tell the interviewer or skate past the fact of admitting to a weakness and using a canned response. The other one, I'm talking about an actual weakness of a personal trait and backing it up with a personable story. So being authentic when you're talking to the interviewer means that you're engaging with the interviewer more. The more engagement that you have with the interviewer, the more connection, the more you're building trust, the more that they're going to have confidence that you're honest about your abilities and that you're honest about who you are as a person. You're having a great conversation and setting realistic expectations of what they can expect from you if they hire you for the job. And since you are the person that isn't trying to be like everybody else, you're actually standing out as a candidate, owning everything that you're good at and maybe even some of your flaws. Being able to embrace that unique you builds self-confidence. And when you are talking with an interviewer, that self-confidence comes across. That's also a great feature and that's a great trait to convey to an interviewer. Okay, so we've talked about the advantages of authentic interviewing. So let's talk a little bit about disadvantages. One of the biggest disadvantages of being authentic and or interviewing with authenticity is that you are opening yourself up. You are making yourself vulnerable to another person. A lot of people are not comfortable doing that. They're not comfortable sharing personal details with a stranger. Therefore, this type of interview probably wouldn't work as well for them. They can, however, take at least part of this advice and try not to over memorize what their standard answers would be to these interview questions. One other disadvantage to interviewing authentically is the fact that you are being authentic, that you are presenting your unique self in a confident manner. Then you are opening yourself to the fact that they may not like you, because not everybody likes everybody else. People who over prepare for the interviews tend to sweat out the questions because they don't want to be not liked. So interviewing authentically does open yourself up to not being liked by that interviewer. That kind of disadvantage can be mitigated, particularly with the type of personal stories that you are sharing. You don't want to have the stories be racy. You don't want to have stories that have potential slurs in them. You don't want to have stories that make you come across as arrogant or egotistical, just personable. So wrapping up, authenticity is a great asset when you are doing your interviewing and your job search. Subscribe to Roadmap to Job Searching for more insights. In the meantime, be true to yourself and obey the rules of the road.